Someone wrote in and they said, how can you be honest so you don't lead women on, and this is a gentleman writing who's heterosexual, and you don't want to hurt them by misrepresenting your intentions. I know honesty is always the best policy, and it can torpedo things if things are revealed too soon, can't they? I'm just starting to practice honesty, and it's confronting. I'm excited by the prospect of learning to date my species. Should I read Radical Honesty? I've read The Ethical Slut. Really love your work. So this is someone who wrote into you.
Oh, okay. Well, hey, thanks for writing in. We love that.
Yeah. This is Reid from readaboutsex.com.
Cathy from TheIntimacyDojo.com.
So how much honesty, how fast?
Well, Brad Blanton, if you're watching, Brad, hey, we're waving at you.
Great book.
Radical Honesty. You can use honesty as a means of like freaking people out and bludgeoning people. Now, for me, if you use it on me, I think that's fun. It's almost like honesty-wise, I'm kinky, and I want you to spank me harder. But a lot of people aren't used to unbridled honesty. So what I think you do is you let people know that for you, you're geeking out on practicing being more honest. And what would that, would they like to play that game with you? Like invite them to play with honesty with you, and then have a conversation about like what would feel good. When's too much honesty too much, and too little, and dork out on the conversation about having conversations that include a lot of honesty. That way you kind of use the context and the thing that you're a little bit unsure of as a means of creating relatedness. When you have context and relatedness mixed with transparency, and you do it slowly enough, and now I have an image of anal sex in my head. You don't want to go too fast, because people tense up. Yeah. So using this conversation, this analogy is a great analogy, but now you're all thinking about butt sex. You use the conversation to build relatedness, which is kind of the lubrication. Mm-hmm. The context is, this is what we're going to try. This is what's happening. And then your honesty is the reassurance that what we talked about is happening. Mm-hmm. And then you just go slowly and develop the ear to be able to listen to people and how they're doing, and build in that you guys can have check-ins, and maybe honesty safe words. Mm-hmm. And then you're using the dynamic that could be too much for people as a means of connecting. It's the geeky way to do it, but basically when you invite people to play a game that you can create context for, they have more informed choice, and it might feel weird that you're talking about what you want to talk about, but it's only weird because it's uncommon. When you actually do it, people are like, oh, and most of us are dying for people to create context for us, mm-hmm. so that we don't have to read their mind. Right,
or just talk about the weather again. I often look at the energy in the relationship. If I notice that there's something I'm withholding and it feels like it's a boulder in the flow between the two of us, like I'm having to put a lot of energy into keeping it out of the conversation, mm-hmm. or, kind of spending a lot of time being careful with my words so I don't reveal things, that's definitely a sign I want to share the information. And I do like if it scares them away, maybe it's good to know that now. And I do know some people I tend to want to know there's trust there before I share deep things. I don't necessarily share everything with people I've just met. So
you and I are different.
We're very different on that. Yeah. You have to earn my trust before I'm going to share some of the more vulnerable things. I'm pretty open about a lot of things, but there's some things that you have to build up trust with. Mm-hmm. So it's not just how comfortable is the other person, but how safe do I feel with them. Mm-hmm. So whereas you just let it hang out.
Yeah, I think my approach is I like creating safe space for myself and then inviting people into that safe space. Mm-hmm. So I'm talking and sharing from inside of this kind of safety that I'm generating for myself. Mm-hmm.
And I'm curious, I don't mean to go down a rabbit hole, but I'm curious how much of that is because you're a large, powerful male versus a female who I've had experiences.
Oh, no, I mean, I know dating is and interactions are very different. I also have 2 black belts, so it's like I have a different orientation towards physical violence as well, and I know that informs some of my choices, and
it could be just a difference in self-expression as well.
Yeah, I mean, so there's the privilege that I have being a big white guy with black belts, and there's the prep work that I'm doing ahead of time to create the safe space for myself anyway.
Let's do a video on that.
What do you think? Leave comments.
Thanks for watching. If you'd like to subscribe to my social media, it's right there. And please subscribe to this channel there. If you'd like to see more goofy Reid and Cathy, there's more videos there.
See them. Why are they there?